Hey, hello guys. How are you doing? I hope you're doing fine. Sales is coming. You're meeting your target. You know, the wahala is not too much and all of that. I'm very excited to come to your screen again so that we can learn together, And I hope all the previous classes, you've been putting them to use and, they are helping you to meet your target, okay? So this module is also very important. It's module 3. My assumption is that you've gone through module 1, steps of a call, module 2, persuasive selling format, where we talked about how to sell convincingly. Our job as salespeople sometimes is very interesting. You need to appeal to people's emotions. I hope you've started using all of those steps, like summarizing the situation, stating the idea, explaining how it works, ensuring that you reinforce the key benefit, showing the customer how much profit they're making, and then closing in a very persuasive way. And and I hope this is helping you, to be honest, because at the end of the day, if it doesn't help you, then but it should help you. If it's not helping you, probably you're not applying it well. It should help you. Now let's move quickly into module 3, objection handling. Objection handling. Okay. Now, let's start with the class activity. What do you understand by objection in sales? I'll give you a few seconds to think about something. Time up. Now, I'm sure some of the things that will come to your mind is no. Stop there. Chairman, I beg. I know they buy today. All those kind of things from your customer. I beg, they go. No, not today. Or I know they buy that one where they talk. Not be today. Things like that, objections in sales. So in sales, when your customer says no or does not buy your idea, that's what we call objections. There are different ways that our customers object when we sell. Just imagine you've done all of your steps of your call very well. You've checked your store, you understand, you are prepared, you did your PSF very perfectly. And then your customer says, no. They have, it's not a good thing for salespeople. And our customers have a lot of ways that they object when we sell. Not every one of them will tell you, no, get out. Some of them have stylish way of telling you they're not going to buy what you brought, right? So that's what we want to look into. It's very, very important for us to understand that. Now, the first thing we want to discuss is, are objections a bad sign? It's both yes and no. It can be a bad sign because when a customer objects or says no or does not buy your idea, it looks like you've wasted your time. All the time that you spend talking and preparing, and it also makes selling more difficult. Something that you thought, oh, if I tell Alaji to buy X cartons, that is going to agree, and then he says no. It just means you have to go through that process again, and that's very difficult. Now, it also frustrates both you, the salesperson, and the customer. When a customer says no, it means the customer is probably not listening to what you are saying or is not interested. So it frustrates you because all your efforts. And then when you don't handle the objection well, it also frustrates the customer as well. So when you look at it from that angle, you can say objections are bad signs, right, of selling, right? But on the other hand, it can also be a good sign. It might mean, oh, the customer is listening and at least knows that he can say no because probably was listening to what you're saying. It can also mean the customer is probably interested and trying to probe more, asking you more questions or saying no so that you can say more things. And most times, because it's not like you are going to sell something out of this world. What you have is to help the customer. Most times, it's often because they want more information. They want you to say more about something. They don't understand what you've said, and they want you to say more about it. So when you look at it from that angle, you see that objections are not really, it's not really a bad sign. Okay? So what am I telling you in essence? If your customer objects, I want you to look at it from this lens of the green tick, right? Where most likely they just want to know more about it. Maybe they are interested and you need to do just a bit more for them to be convinced. Why do customers object? The first reason is because, buying and selling to most people is like a win or lose. It's just like when you go buy something in the market, like meat. We do it more with meat, right? And the meat seller says, this meat is 7.5. The first thing is you want to price it. So when you price it and you're able to get it at 5,000, you feel like, man, I've won. I gained 2.5 to myself. So most customers also think the same way. Sometimes even when you go to buy meat and that 7,500 naira meat, you say, no, Ogana, 5,000. And the person you bring money, you still be feeling, this guy want cheat me. Until the person say, no, no agree. And then you are going and they say, come back, come pick and like that. Then you now feel like, wow, I win. So customers also think the same way. So when you state an idea or you share an idea with them, they're always feeling, if I go and buy this thing now, maybe this guy wants to meet his target or wants to sell something that will not move in my store. So they always look at it from that angle. So you need to understand that. That's sometimes why they object. They feel, if I collect all the idea this guy is bringing to me, it might be as if he has won me and not me. And me, I'm losing from my end. Okay. Now, the second reason will be customer, maybe they didn't understand what you said. The idea that you shared with them, they don't understand it. Or it doesn't fit into the business need, which was why in PSF we learned about understanding the business need and then using your PSF to sell to that need. Or it is not fitting well into their operating principles. So let's say somebody now only buys what moves in their area, and maybe your product is a new product, so it doesn't know if it will move or not, and they don't buy it. Maybe it doesn't fit into their principle. Or you don't want to sell on credit, and they want to sell on credit, and they might say, no, if you're not selling on credit, I'm not, and you can't sell on credit, so it doesn't fit in, so they say no. Okay. And then the last reason why customers might say no is because they've not seen the benefit. If you remember, in our PSF, our step 4, reinforcing key benefit. The reason reinforcing key benefit is number 4 before you close is so that you can remind the person what they stand to gain if they buy your idea. So the best way to prevent objection is to, when you are thinking of your PSF, is for you to anticipate some real objections and then you build them into your presentation. Which is why if you look at PSF very well, is that you need to understand the situation, the need, the customer limitations, and then the opportunity for benefit before you state your idea to them. What does that mean? It means if you know your customer well, you know what most likely might want them to say, might make them say no. And then you already build it into how it works. And then you reinforce key benefits for them in your PSF so that the chances of them saying yes is more. However, objections will always come. And these are the reasons why your customers might object. Okay? Now, there are 4 steps to handle objections. Of course, I always come with plenty steps. Okay? But this is to structure you. This is why you're a professional. When you have steps, when you have a systematic way of solving problem, then you become a very good professional. People respect you. It's not like, anywhere but left is, right? Now, let's look at the 4 steps of objection handling. It's also something very psychological. The first step is for you to determine real objection. Objections can be real and fake. Some people just want you to get out of their store, so they just tell you anything. As a great salesperson, you don't just buy any objection. You try to to determine first, what is the real objection? Number 2, you try to understand the objection. Then 3, you verify that the objection you are understanding is the right one. Okay? And then finally, you make sure you undo the objection. Now let's go into this one by one quickly. How do you determine real objection? Like I told you, not all objections are real. So the first thing is to make sure that your customer has reviewed all their objections to you. How do you do that? You make sure you exhaust them. Madam, is there any other problem apart from this one that you have shared with me? Are there other issues that you have not talked about? Imagine somebody comes to you to do something and you say no, and the person politely asks you, auntie or chairman, why don't you, why you not go on buy wetin I tell you? Oh no, man, I don't need them now. I don't need them now. Okay. Is there any other reason? And in fact, the money we dey my hand now, I won't use and do something else. Okay. Any other reason, sir? And are the only two be that. Exhaust everything. Because if you don't allow them talk about all of their objections, they might not, the real objection might not be the first one they'll tell you. So you exhaust them by asking more questions. Okay. Then you can also identify the most important objection. Of all these ones that you have told me, if I have to, which one is the number one that I have to solve? Then they will tell you, chairman, the truth be say, man, I don't get the money now. The money with the man now, that Unilever guy, they can't collect them. I don't owe him since last week. Now you know that money is the problem. Not that they don't like your product, not that your product is too expensive, not that, they will tell you plenty of things. The third point is, now you need to check that you know the real objection by using the suppose test. So, chairman, suppose I want to solve one of all these problems where you bring out now. Only one, say I know be God. Which one it go be? Then you tell you, chairman, now that money part, if you drop am, go come. Maybe you go consider. Then you know that money was the real objection. Okay, or sometimes maybe no, I dey buy them from another place, so your price too cost. Then you understand that the price I'm selling is the objection. So the first step is determine the real objection. The second step is to understand the real objection. Just telling you that I don't get money, it's not enough. Okay, you need to try to understand it. Okay, chairman, mama, thank you. Say you don't tell me that one now. But when you talk, say my price too high. What do you mean? Tell me. Now if you see Terra, then Sonia, they don't they sell how they sell now. Now on two cost. You go soupy, all this no. They know they say your price too cost. Now 3.5 with the buy them. They say your own 3.750. Then you're beginning to understand. They're giving you more context, right? So you can ask. So the way you understand is you can ask by doing a general lead. Madam, tell me more. Then they tell you more. You can also do restatements. So, madam, what you they try tell me be say our price it cost pass other people for market or where you they normally buy them. Yes or no, they will let you know. Another way to understand is to pause. We salespeople, we like to talk a lot. As you can see, I like to talk. We like to talk. But when you are handling objection, that is not the time for you to be too talky. You can use pause. So when somebody, I know they buy, imagine that you just pause. It means you're expecting the person to say more, to at least to elaborate more. Not that you just eat the person. You fire and back, bam. No. When you're handling objection as a salesperson, to understand it, you need to sometimes use the pause method to get more. Okay. Comfortable probe is also a way. You can ask more. So, madam, when you talk, so you buy at this price, how many cases you did buy? Maybe the person has been buying at a wholesale price somewhere. So you just probe comfortably. Another sensitive probe so that the person will not, sometimes when you ask too much question, they get angry. So you can use something like sensitive probe. So, madam, so now when you talk, say, this is our price. It gets where you they buy them, differently so that I fit tell my company, things like that, very subtle. Okay, that's how to understand the real objection. Now, you have to verify. Now, some of you might feel like, oh, this question for objection handling is getting too much. The truth is, when somebody tells you no, it's the time for you to understand. It's not the time for you to react. So when you determine the real objection, you ensure that you've understood it. You need to verify that what you are understanding is it. And it's also a psychological way for you and the customer to be on the same page. Say, out of all the plenty things you told me, we are staying on this one. And when I solve this one, you will buy or you will say yes to me. Okay? So when you want to verify, there's different statements you can use. I'll just read this in English, but you can also interpret it in your own way. As I understand it, your concern is our price is too high. Oh, so what you are objecting here is our price, not our product. You say yes. From what you've told me, I believe your concern is that our price is not, is higher than where you buy it from. You say yes, exactly. You don't get them. Now wait, now price be the problem. And you can use all these other sentences. I mean, definitely, you will get this deck so that you can refresh and read on your own. So when you now verify that, oh, price is the problem, price is the real objection, you've determined it, you've understood it, you've verified it, you can then handle it. Handling objection is not a do or die. Let me put it like that. It's not a do or die. You can undo immediately or later. So how can you handle an objection immediately? When you have the solution. So let's say, for example, with our example, the person is saying, the place I buy is cheaper by 50 naira than the place you buy. I mean, than what you are selling to me. That's the real objection that you have determined, understood, and verified. Let's say during your understanding, the person told you that, that place now, I always buy 20 cartons. Now, why did they sell so now they buy 20 cartons? You might be able to tell the person, maybe that's this, I'm just giving this as an example. Madam, say, me too, I feel sell to you at that price. But now, who say price be that? If you buy 20 cartons and above, you can undo that. But if you won't buy one or two, I go need buy sell to you at this price. And then the person can ask you, so if I buy 20 now, you say go sell me to me at that price. Madam, of course. That means you have the solution to yourself. There are some objections that you don't have answer to. You need to seek consent from your manager, or you need help from the office. Right? So let's say, for example, somebody is saying, what if I buy these 50 cartons? Will you give me discount? You don't have the power to do that. Maybe your manager can then, maybe there's a buy this, get this free that we might run later. And then what you can do, you can postpone the objection there. You reinforce the key benefits, then you handle the objection later. Oh, madam, I understand. But say, these are our product. If you sell them, they move fast. And if you sell them, for every carton where you sell, they make 150 naira. And if you sell 10 cartons, that's 1.5, in a week. So that one said not too small. But as waiting, you don't talk now, say our price. Maybe when we run promo, I will let you know. Because that promo it means maybe sometimes we run 10 plus 1, 5 plus 1, and things like that. I will let you know. But we know they run them now and know they within my power. So I'll come back to you. That's the way to handle objection. This makes you understand that objection is not bad, like I've said from the beginning. It's just something that you need to understand. And when you understand objection, it helps you know better as a salesman. It helps you plan better, and it makes you a better salesperson. Okay? So that is it on objection handling. Let me quickly run through it again. There are 4 steps of objection handling. The first is to determine the real objection. When you determine the real objection, make sure you understand the real objection. When you understand it, verify that what you are understanding is the one real objection that when you solve it, the person will say yes, and then handle it. And again, like I said, handling it doesn't mean you need to give the solution there and there. If you have it, of course, close the sale. But sometimes you might not have the answer, and it's okay. It doesn't make you less of a salesperson. You say, madam, our product is great. You continue to make profit, but on this one where you talk, let me come back to you because I need to take approval from our company. Pam, with these few points of mine, I hope I've been able to convince you and not to confuse you that objection is not bad. You just need to handle it as a salesperson. And you can do that using the 4 steps that I've shared with you. If you have any question, please, put it on your WhatsApp group, and I'm sure somebody is going to answer you. I'm looking forward to you passing the test. Pass the test, get everything. This is very simple, and start using objection handling in your everyday sales. Okay, until then, until next class, my name is Michael Adesanya, and hopefully I get to work with you on the field in the next future. Okay, bye.